Welcome back to Stoic Mindset Wisdom, where we peel back the layers of human behavior one hidden truth at a time. Today's subject may sound simple, even ordinary. Why do people shave their pubic hair? But if you think it's only about hygiene or attractiveness, you're missing the bigger picture. The truth is, grooming habits are tied to psychology's self-awareness, cultural influence, sexual confidence, even anxiety. Every razor stroke can tell a story. A story of control, conformity, or quiet rebellion. A story of how much we care about what others see or what we desperately don't want them to see. The psychology of grooming. What shaving reveals about you. Stoic Mindset Wisdom hook opening.
Imagine this.
You're standing in front of the mirror, razor in hand, deciding whether or not to shave. Most people think it's just a grooming habit, something about hygiene or preference. But what if I told you that this single act, shaving your pubic hair, actually reveals far more about your psychology, your self-image, and even your hidden fears and desires than you realize? This isn't just about smooth skin or looking clean. This is about the silent messages your grooming choices send to yourself, to your partner, and to the society that shaped your perception of beauty. And in today's video, we're going deep into the psychology of grooming, why shaving isn't just a habit, but a reflection of your inner world. And as you'll soon realize, what seems like a private choice might be one of the most powerful mirrors of your subconscious. Point. One's self-awareness and body image psychologists have long noted that grooming choices, especially something as intimate as shaving pubic hair, reflect heightened body awareness. People who shave frequently aren't just focused on hygiene. They're often deeply attuned to how they're perceived in intimate moments. Think about it. Shaving before a date, right before intimacy, isn't random. It's a preparation, psychological ritual. For some, it signals, I want to look attractive. Desirable, in control. Research from the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that women, and increasingly men, often groom more when they expect intimacy. This means shaving isn't just about cleanliness. It's an attempt to feel more confident, secure, and sexually appealing. But here's where it gets fascinating. That simple act of shaving might also reveal insecurity. The fear that if they don't groom, they won't be accepted, or worse, judged. So, is shaving a sign of self-confidence? Or is it a mask that hides insecurity? Truth may lie in the balance. Point to social norms and cultural influence. Let's be honest, none of us live in isolation. What we think is normal about our bodies often comes from what we see in media. In modern culture, hairless bodies are glorified in advertising, movies, even social media. Pornography especially has amplified the expectation of smooth, shaved bodies, turning a personal choice into a cultural standard. So when people shave, is it truly their choice? Or are they unconsciously bowing to an invisible pressure, trying to match an image fed to them since adolescence? Psychologists call this social comparison. When we're bombarded with ideal bodies, our mind starts to equate worthiness with similarity. If everyone we see is hairless, suddenly grooming becomes less about preference and more about fitting in. But here's the Stoic twist. What if chasing cultural approval actually weakens you? What if every razor stroke ties your self-worth to the opinions of others instead of your own? Point 3. Personality traits and hidden drives. Studies also connect grooming behavior to personality traits. Conscientious people, the ones who like order and control, are more likely to groom meticulously. Those with higher anxiety may shave to reduce discomfort, using grooming as a way to feel safe in intimate situations. Meanwhile, more open and adventurous personalities often see grooming as part of their sexual expression and embrace of freedom, experimentation, even rebellion. So in reality, shaving can be a mirror of your personality. Cleanliness, insecurity, openness, orderliness, it all shows up in the smallest details. Point 4. Ritual, control, and identity beyond appearance. Grooming can also become a ritual, a way to claim control when life feels chaotic. For some, shaving is less about attraction and more about identity. A personal statement. This is who I am. This is how I care for myself. This is how I want the world to see me, even in my most private self. Grooming becomes an anchor, a daily or weekly act of self-control, almost meditative. And in psychology, rituals like these are powerful. They ground us, give us stability, and remind us we have control, even if it's just over our own body. The psychology of grooming. What shaving reveals about you. Part 2, the silent language of grooming. Every action we take with our body, whether it's cutting hair, growing a beard, trimming nails, or shaving. Pubic hair sends out silent signals. Some signals are intentional, others subconscious. Grooming is more than physical maintenance. It's a language. Think of it like this. When someone keeps their shoes spotless, it often signals orderliness. When someone experiments with tattoos or piercings, it signals openness to self-expression. Shaving pubic hair works the same way. It doesn't just change how the body looks, it communicates something deeper about control. I decide how my body appears. Cleanliness, I want to look and feel fresh. Sexuality, I'm ready. Open or curious. Conformity or rebellion, I fit in or I resist. What makes this fascinating is that most people aren't fully conscious of the messages they're sending, yet others pick up on these signals instinctively. Attraction and the psychology of desire. Here's where psychology takes us down an even deeper path. Studies in evolutionary psychology suggest that grooming can influence attraction sometimes in ways we don't realize. For example, men who shave or trim often are sometimes perceived as more attentive and hygienic by partners. Women who groom more frequently are often rated as more confident and sexually open by men. But here's the paradox. While grooming may increase attraction in the short term, it can sometimes trigger suspicion in long-term relationships. Think about it. If someone who never shaves suddenly starts grooming intensely, their partner might wonder, why now? Who are they trying to impress? This subtle shift can trigger insecurities, jealousy, or even conflicts in relationships. A habit meant to increase intimacy might instead create emotional distance. It raises the question, does grooming reflect desire, or does it reflect dissatisfaction? The Stoic lens. Control versus dependency from a Stoic perspective. The issue isn't shaving itself, it's the why behind it. If you shave because it makes you feel clean and comfortable and aligned with your own values, that's a form of healthy self-control. You're acting from internal principles. But if you shave only because you're afraid of being judged, rejected, or compared, then your sense of worth is no longer internal. It's dependent on others. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." So the question becomes, when you pick up that razor, are you exercising freedom more? Are you handing over your self-worth to the opinions of society, anxiety, intimacy, and the hidden fear of exposure? Now let's peel back another psychological layer. Many people who groom excessively aren't just chasing attractiveness, they're trying to hide. Psychologists suggest that frequent shaving can sometimes be tied to body image anxiety. If someone feels insecure about their natural self, grooming becomes a way to mask those fears. It's as if the razor becomes a shield. If I shave, no one will notice my flaws. But here's the irony. In intimate situations, true connection doesn't come from perfection. It comes from authenticity. From letting someone see you as you are without filters, without masks. So the more someone uses grooming to cover insecurity, the more they may actually block the very intimacy they're craving. It's a trap. The pursuit of acceptance creates distance instead of closeness. Cultural rituals and historical roots, this behavior isn't new. Across cultures and centuries, grooming has carried symbolic meaning. In ancient Egypt, both men and women often removed body hair as a sign of purity, status, and hygiene. In Rome, smooth skin was associated with refinement and nobility. In medieval Europe, body hair was rarely discussed, yet rituals of grooming quietly persisted in private in modern times. Media and global beauty standards have amplified grooming into a near-universal expectation. The point is clear. What you think is your choice might actually be history echoing through you. Grooming habits often carry the weight of generations of cultural messaging. The psychology of grooming. What shaving reveals about you. Part 3. Grooming as a hidden power play at first glance. Shaving your pubic hair looks like a private choice, something done behind closed doors, unseen by the world. But psychologists reveal that grooming often extends beyond self-care. It becomes a subtle form of social and relational power. Think about it. In a relationship, it's the way one partner grooms or doesn't consent an unspoken message. Grooming more frequently might signal, I'm preparing myself for attraction. I'm putting in effort for you. Grooming less might signal, comfortable, I no longer feel the need to impress. Sudden drastic changes might trigger suspicion. Who are they trying to impress now? The silent back and forth can create tension. One partner's grooming habits can influence the other's emotions, their sense of security, their level of desire, even their trust. In other words, grooming is not just about you. It becomes part of the power dynamic of intimacy.